past couple of weeks. I guess if I wanted to watch a DVD, I probably could because I have some of those. Sometimes it's good to get out and do things, so that's kind of hard to do those things if you're at home watching TV. All right. Always have an agenda. Sometimes I do watch DVDs on one from the library. The notable one from the past week, I made some good finds there. It was Elvis and Nixon. I guess that's based on the story how that picture is the most requested in the National Archives. And I know this happens all the time with movies where they have that disclaimer at the end saying some scenes and characters were invented for dramatic effect. And with movies like that, I can usually guess which scenes were after watching them in terms of the reaction that they expect to get out of people, or sometimes the reaction they get out of me, because it's called selling a movie. I guess it has sometimes inspired me to see what I can find on eBay and Amazon with ordering things, because I like ordering old postcards and baseball cards or non-sport trading cards, because I major in history and I know it's different ways to examine history. So I have tried to find postcards of famous people visiting presidents, and it's so far been baseball players that I've found, even being aware of the President's Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. But in terms of narrowing down the search, it can be hard to do unless you have that particular famous person. Otherwise, you're looking at thousands of hits, and that takes way too long. So it's like, all right, entertainers, comedians at the White House. And it's like, oh, I should have known. The easiest one to find there with comedians would be Bob Hope. I mean, he was well known for entertaining presidents all the way back to Franklin Roosevelt. So it's like, all right, that'd be a good one. And then the other one that I found recently that I probably should order was when Tom Selleck was there, I guess the same time as Princess Diana. It's like, oh, all right, it's not necessarily because of Tom Selleck is why I'm seeing that postcard. I get it. We have an obsession with the British royal family in America, even though we're no longer a British possession. I still don't get it. But that's not in any way a new thing to this day and age. I mean, I've been watching reruns of Mama's Family where they make references to the British royal family even then, and it wasn't always, as the joke was by Rhea Perlman on Cheers, up Chuck and die. No, not always them. All right, there was that one, and other things happening in my life. Of course, I often go to Aldi to get groceries, although sometimes it feels like I'm going to a glorified convenience store in terms of they don't have everything, and of course the square footage at the place. And it was kind of busy when I went there Saturday afternoon, but some of the things that I have to deal with are just too ridiculous. It's like, all right, the frozen section, and then part of that aisle is blocked by their poinsettia display. It's like, really? Can't you find a better place for that? Because I had no choice but to wait it out until more people cleared and then go back into that area. Yeah, I'm always saying, is there a better way to do things than do that? And no, I didn't complain to store management or anything like that, because I don't know how much good that would do. Try to get in, get out, try to handle things on my own as best as possible is my attitude about it. Yeah, it's cheaper to shop there, I'll give them that much. That happened. Now I can go to Walgreens too. Yes, I leave off the yes, I've covered that one before. It does say Walgreen Company on the back of the packages. It's still active called Walgreen, for those who want to do that. They even have the archival photos at times too that will show that at one point they left off the S. But yes, I was at one picking up a few things, and then one employee made a comment to me, and he could have done it without that because it had nothing to do with what I was looking at. He said, you see that guy over there? He's really tall. And yes, the dude was really tall, over 7 foot, but it's like, all right, what good does that do me? I'm not him. Why don't you say that over to the guy that really is tall? And I'd like to know what his response was, but I was too polite to say anything because he probably would have said, what? I'm really tall? No, nobody ever told me before. All I said to the employee was, maybe he played basketball. I guess I was just doing my best to shut him up without just saying, it's like, really? How does this concern me? Yeah, that happened. Oh, number jokes, yeah. That sometimes helps me remember what happens in my life. I went to a new venue to me last week. It was a microbrewery, and while I was there, I wasn't sure what to have for a snack. I know that at a bar, of course, having nuts works really well. They are out. All right. So they also had sweet bacon. And then it said on the package, microwave it. It's like, all right, I guess I'm not used to eating bacon when I'm at bars, so I saved one of the 2 slices and then took it home. It's like, yeah, it does taste better microwaved. I should have known that would happen. But you live, you learn, just like Alanis Morissette said once in one of her songs. I overdo... Yeah, I know it's cliche, but it's still true. There's a lot of knowledge that can be found in music. That's also why I like doing karaoke. I understand music better when I'm actually singing it and I'm seeing the lyrics up there, because otherwise it goes so fast it's almost garbled. It can be unintelligible, as much like what Weird Al once sang in Smells Like Nirvana, his version of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Unintelligible, marbles in my mouth. To some people it probably sounded like that. When I was doing karaoke this past Friday, proof of how it's the Christmas season, they just said Santa ? Exclamation point. All right, and when the act shows up, I see people in reindeer costumes, but I don't see Santa. Come on, why do you sign yourself up as Santa when I don't see Santa? That's called false advertising, people. Good thing you didn't sign a contract, because the truth in lending numbers wouldn't match and I'd have to reject it. I can't forget being in finance on saying the truth in lending numbers don't match. Got to redraw the contract, and you're not being honest. Ha! No, I never said anything to them. They probably would have swore at me or something like that. And it's like, yeah, people need to find out their own that certain things just don't work. Yeah, there was karaoke. And I know that it can be weird talking to some people on the phone. Some cases, I guess I don't have to, but there's a hockey ticket salesman. I like going back to Chicagoland once a year, where I once lived to visit old friends. And I talked to the ticket salesman there. He said, when are you coming back to see some games? I told you the same thing every year. I live in Minnesota now. I come back once a year. And I said, if you want me to come back more often, get me free plane tickets along with the game tickets. And he laughed. It's like, well, I was being honest with him. What else am I supposed to say? I guess to be continued on that one. That'll do it for me. Thank you. You've been great.